right on the nipples.
You might not know it, but there's more than one party in the People's Republic. The Chinese have made an art form out of letting their hair down and will celebrate just about anything from the birth of Buddha to the rising of the autumn moon. For the residents of the northern city of Harbin, the 4-month winter is reason to rejoice as the city plays host to the world's largest ice and snow festival. Braving the deep freeze, Lonely Planet author James Bainbridge chips away at the surface of northern China's chilliest spectacle.
For 6 months of the year, Harbin is covered in a permanent blanket of snow and frost. It's an hour south of Siberia, and conditions here can be downright surreal in the middle of the winter.
If you like the idea of a white Christmas that goes from December to March, then Harbin could be your town. It's the coldest city in China and the host of an annual international ice and snow festival that transforms frozen water into works of art. I'm here to find out what this celebration can offer travellers willing to brave the cold. Harbin's Ice and Snow Festival started only 10 years ago, but it's already one of the world's 4 biggest festivals of its kind, along with similar events in Sapporo, Norway and Quebec. As recently as 2007, the Harbin Festival set the Guinness World Record for the largest ice sculpture ever made. To show their devotion to this yearly tradition, participants even brave minus 40-degree temperatures for a dip at Harbin's public swimming pool. I'm told the reason they wrap the ladder with cloth is to stop their hands freezing onto the metal as they climb out of the pool. This group of scantily clad madmen are the Harbin Penguins. They come here every day to go swimming in the sub-zero water. They think it's good for their health.
游泳嘛，这是我们冬泳协会的主席，老主席今年是80岁了，他还在坚持游泳冬泳。
Just saw you rolling around in the snow outside. Do you really think that's good for your health?
哪儿不疼？过去头疼嘛，现在早就不疼了，哎，最好的了。
He says he used to have headaches before. He used to have problems with regular headaches, but since he started swimming here on a daily basis, that's all stopped. Recent studies have discovered that cold water swimming can raise testosterone levels in men. Whether that's an indicator of good health is still to be proven.
It's freezing!
As far as I know, the shock of extremely cold water can increase your heart rate by 50%, and your body could start hyperventilating in the first few minutes of exposure.
The temperature of the water's about 0 degrees, and it's so cold it's feeling like it's burning my hand. I feel like a block of ice already, man. This is insane.
I already feel like a champion for being out here in minus 17 degrees, dressed only in my shorts, but there's absolutely no way I can go through with this madness.
Insane. The crowd out there all wanted me to jump, but I felt so cold there was no way I was going to do it.
Okay.
My main fear was that my limbs would freeze up and I'd just sink to the bottom. Now we're standing in here and I've never been so glad to see a little stove before in my life. All hail the penguins! Yay!
Between December and February each year, ice and snow sculptures can be found all over Harbin, with the largest pieces melting by the end of March. The most spectacular sculptures are across the Songhua River at the Ice and Snow World. Reputed to be the ice Disneyland of the world, it's best experienced at night. I've arranged to get a personal tour from festival coordinator Nan Nan.
This building is 50 meters high.
Okay.
Yeah, and this building is most highest building around the ice park.
Ice and Snow World is mind-blowingly surreal. It covers an area of some 400,000 square meters and needs more than 200,000 cubic meters of ice and snow to form the mini city. Around the venue, you can see massive world record sub-zero sculptures longer than a football field and lit up by computer-controlled lighting. Can you tell me how you get the lights inside the ice? Because that seems very difficult to actually get the lights inside. Do you have to drill a hole, or do they melt a hole, or what?
Yeah, this one. Yeah, the lights here. When they want to put the lights here, they just make the hole.
They actually cut a hole.
Yes.
And then they put the light in, and then they put some water in, and then that freezes.
Yeah, you're so clever.
Teams come from all over the world every year to test their ice sculpture skills at Harbin, some from as far away as Canada and Finland. The sculptures here in the grounds of Ice and Snow World are entirely Chinese made and give visitors an opportunity to enjoy the artworks as both a visual and physical experience. This is the longest ice slide in the world.
Yes.
Do you know how long it is?
Maybe about 200 meters.
Wow, and it's entirely made of ice?
Yes.
That's incredible. So you can get up some good speed going down on the toboggan.
Ow!
Get set, go! For 6 months of the year, Harbin endures unimaginably harsh winter conditions, but the local people wrap up warm and turn these conditions to their advantage in the most imaginative ways. They've built this fantastic city out of ice and snow, and for me, this city is the strangest, if the chilliest place I've ever been in my life.
The southern province of Yunnan has long been considered China's scenic Shangri-La. But to the region's largest ethnic group, the province's mighty rivers are more than just a pretty picture. The Dai people consider water to be a powerful symbol that brings fortune, health, and happiness. The best way to ensure a lucky streak is the annual Splash Fest, where only the wet and wild survive. We sent Lonely Planet author Elise Quinn to dip her toes into the most watery of Chinese celebration.
For the Dai people of Yunnan's tropical south, the Water Splashing Festival is the biggest event of the year. Now, for travelers though, sometimes it's easy just to get caught up in the water splashing madness, and they miss out on what the event really means. But luckily for me, I know some locals here in Jinhong, in Sichuanbana, and they've agreed to clue me in. The Water Splashing Festival is the most important ceremonial event in the Dai calendar, and it takes place during the month of April. The 700-year-old festival celebrates the Dai New Year and is steeped in Buddhist ceremony. The Dai also believe water is a symbol of religious purity and goodwill among people. To get a greater understanding of the Dai people's relationship with water, I'm hooking up with my guide, Gang Han. Gingham, you look so pretty in your Dai outfit. I can't believe you're going to get all wet in that.
没关系啊，因为泼的越湿，得到的祝福就越多，你就会很幸福的。
So the wetter you get, the more blessings you get.
对。
The Dai are the largest minority in Yunnan province and practice the Buddhist Hinayana religion. It's customary for Dai men to serve as monks before they reach manhood.
现在你知道吗？这个就是咱们那个宗教大游演，是展示咱们那个傣族人民的宗教文化。你看到那个是佛。对啊，每年都要是祭拜的。
festival draws over 1 million people each year, and most of the events are centered on the Langsangjiang River, which runs through Jinhong. The intervillage dragon boat races are one of the highlights. For the Dai people, dragons are mythical creatures who control the rain, the river, and the sea. What should I say to cheer them on?
Say, say.
Say, 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 say. By holding these races, they hope to chase away illness and bad fortune and bring in good weather and bumper harvests. This year has seen a drought in the region, so there's a strong feeling of reverence for these events.
圣水把那个圣水取回去以后才能泼水。
南无大萨巴嘎瓦多阿拉哈多萨玛萨布达萨南无大萨巴嘎。
我宣布，傣地鸭山市新年节晨曦泼水活动正式开始。
Traditionally, the Dai people would splash water on each other using tree branches. But these days, they seem to favor a much more modern approach.
A lot of guys are actually using giant water machine guns. It hurts, I'm telling you.
After a day of organized chaos, it's a welcome sight to see the evening hold something much more gentle. Sending off these Kongming lanterns is a tradition during the Water Splashing Festival. They were once used by the military to send messages over the battlefield, but the Dai have adapted them. They now add offerings to their deceased relatives and wishes for prosperity for the new year.
咱们现在去放水灯好不好？对。这个孔明灯，这个是用竹片做起来的，这个是那个老百姓自己做的纸。现在这个愿望是这个孔明灯然后飞上去，飞得越高，那个愿望就会实现。快点啦，快来！
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like this big lantern, and now it's going to like a little Chinese lantern in the sky. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh wow, 这是什么？
这是水灯。等下，这个是咱们那个傣历年的时候，就是新年的时候必须放的，是传统的，必须放水，就起个烟然后放进去。
这个，
对，这个好看。
Everything's just better with fireworks. When I came to the Water Splashing Festival in Xishuangbanna, I thought it was just going to be a big kind of wild and wet time. But after spending time with my Dai friends, I've learned that water is sacred and that water is a blessing. And especially this year, when Xishuangbanna is going under very serious drought, it makes water more important than ever. So my New Year's wish for Xishuangbanna and the Dai people is a lot of rain and a plentiful harvest.
The Chinese have a long-standing love affair with floral blooms, but for sheer swoon factor, there is only one bud that truly steals their hearts. Forget the rose, in the People's Republic, it's the peony that's top blossom. And to get up close and personal with the nation's favourite flower, there is only one place to go. We sent Lonely Planet author Daniel McCrohan to slow down and smell the flowers at the nation's largest floral festival.
Luoyang is well known throughout China for being one of the nation's ancient capitals, but it's also famous because of a flower, the peony. They've been growing peonies here for centuries, and they even have an annual festival, which starts today. We're going to go and check it out. The peony was declared as China's national flower by the Qing dynasty in 1903. The city of Luoyang produces some of the finest peonies in the country, and each year hosts dozens of flower exhibitions and festivities to celebrate the bloom of this prestigious flower. I'm backstage at the Peony Festival, so they're going to be dancing in a minute. 你能给我看怎么跳舞吗？哇 very nice, 漂亮。The city of Luoyang may have been growing peonies for over 1,000 years, but it was only in 1983 that it held its first Peony Festival. Today, this annual event attracts thousands of visitors during the April bloom season. Luoyang is now so synonymous with the peony flower that it has become the official emblem of the city. Another historic symbol of the city is Empress Wu Zetian, who broke all precedents when she founded her own dynasty right here in Luoyang in the 7th century. When the real Wu Zetian used to do this back in the day, like 1,300 years ago, there were more than 1,000 people following her in this huge envoy just to celebrate this festival. It's a really, really old tradition here in Luoyang. To get a local insight into this unique event, I've called upon teacher Shi Shengli, who's been attending the Peony Festival for more than 20 years. Shi Laoshe.
你好，你好。
What are these people doing here?
They are painting flowers, peony flowers.
Oh, they're painting
here.
peonies, ah.
Yeah.
The peony has been the subject of many Chinese artworks, and paintings of the flower are regarded by locals as blessings for good fortune. Do you think I can maybe have a go at painting some of the flowers?
Yes, you may try.
这好啊，好了。
好。
Just one smooth stroke.
那个是画花的笔。
This is the special brush for painting the flowers, a little bit different, smaller.
一半，两半。
Is it good?
Yes, yes, wonderful.
哦，对。
It kind of looks like someone's decimated a flower. Okay. 谢谢你帮助啊，谢谢。During the Northern Song dynasty, over 100 varieties of peonies made their way from Luoyang to the rest of the country. 我能吃一下吗？帮助你吗？可以吗？好的，好的。这样的。Today, Luoyang cultivates over 700 different species of peonies from almost 10 million plants.
This is, you see, this is
one?
Luoyang Red.
Okay.
It's the most famous and the most popular. You can see them in the city, along the roads.
Legend has it that it once withstood the wrath of the Empress of China. She once ordered flowers in Luoyang to bloom in the winter. This flower didn't listen, didn't bloom. So she was so angry, she ordered for all the peonies to be burnt. Despite this, the Luoyang red peony came back, grew even bigger and more beautiful than before. And so because of this, the Empress had a huge respect for this flower. Now, Chinese people particularly revere this flower. We've had a lot of festivities today. We've got one more to come. It's banquet time. Not any old banquet. This is going to be a Luoyang speciality, a water banquet. Here he is, Shi Laoshe. 你好. Wow, such a massive table. Created during the Tang dynasty for Empress Wu Zetian, the water banquet is an imperial feast that comprises 24 different dishes. It's especially popular during the Peony Festival.
这里面是45斤。
中国的这个传统的经典的。
Okay, so the name of a Chinese book. And inside we have a mix of vegetables and some meat. 我们尝一尝啊。好，行。可以。Very nice.
Tried it.
What's Bien? This is cow testicles.
Yes.
When in Rome. Chewy. It's okay. If I didn't know it was cow testicle, it would be fine.
Despite some challenging ingredients, the water banquet is often eaten when hosting esteemed guests.
Really nice.
It's a highly ritualized meal, where each group of dishes is served immediately once the previous group has been finished, creating a seemingly never-ending stream of food that emulates the flow of water.
I found out today that the Peony Festival isn't just about flowers. We've had painting, music, and now a banquet fit for a king. Importantly, I think the peony flower provides the city of Luoyang with a link to its past.